So, connecting with the previous lecture, the today lecture topic is the application of control charts for attributes. Now, the word attributes, we will use P chart and C chart for using such like measuring of attributes quality. And I will also show you how you will use KO1 macros, the software which I already discussed with you in my previous lecture, that how you will download it, how you will use it for C chart, X chart, R chart, for Pareto diagram, for Ishikawa fishbone diagram, etc., etc. So in this lecture, I'm just going to show you that how you will use the P chart. So as you people know that we already know how to use X bar chart and R bar chart. So we will use a P chart for yes or no, good or bad. So we will use this P chart basically when we have two possible outcomes. Two possible outcome means the decision will be good or bad. The outcome will be good or bad. The person will be alive or a person will be dead. The production will be effective or it will be defective. The answer will be yes or the answer will be no. So when there are only two possible outcomes involved in a specific process, in a specific trial, we will use P chart. So a P chart for yes, no or good, bad decision in which defective items are clearly identified. So in such like experiment, we will use P chart. While we will use C chart for more general counting when there can be more than one defect per unit. Number of laws or strain in a carpet sample cut from a production run, etc., etc. Number of complaint per customer at a hotel. Number of complaint per customer at a hospital. Number of complaint per customer in a university, etc., etc. So before going to that, in order to further explain the concept of P chart, I'm just going to solve you a very simple example. For example, a production manager for a tire company has inspected the number of defective tires in 5 random samples with 20 tires in each sample. So an inspector just visiting a production area and he inspecting the number of defective tires in a specific factory who's producing tires. So she want to check the defective tire in 5 random samples. So he just collect 5 samples and in each sample she check 20 tires. So the number of tires in each sample will be 20. So in this sample, in the sample first in which he examined 20 tires, in those 20 tires 3 are defective. In the second sample, maybe this is the first warehouse. So from the first warehouse, she select 20 tires. Among those tires, 3 are defective. In the second sample, she select 20 tires and she found that 20 are defective. Simply from the third sample, once again, the number of tires in this sample is 20, and in this sample in 20 tires, 1 is defective. In the fourth one there are 2 defective, and in the fifth one there are only 1 defective. So you can also calculate the proportion. How you will calculate the proportion? So you can easily calculate the proportion. So when dividing 3 divided by 20, you will get proportion defective of 0.15. 2 divided by 20, you will get a proportion of 0.10. 1 divided by 20, you will get a proportion of 0.05. So similarly, you can also calculate the proportion of these defective tires. So now we want to construct a P chart. So we need a central line, we need a P bar. So how you will calculate number of defective? So number of defective, how many defective we have? So in the first sample 3 defective, in the second 2 defective, in the third 1, fourth 2, and fifth 1. So the total number of defective tire among 100 tires are 9. So 9 divided by 100, just like we already calculate these defective proportion. So this proportion will be for the overall, which is 0.09. So your central line will be 0.09. Now there is a formulation for the proportion. Basically these are the proportion. P represent proportion chart, P chart. So sigma P, the formulation is P bar 1 minus P bar divided by N. So M basically represent the number of sample in each sample. So the number of tire in each sample, there are 20 tires, and P bar we have already calculated. When you put these values, you will get sigma 0.64. Then for the proportion chart, we have upper control limit formulation is P bar plus Z sigma P. So now we want to use 3 sigma, as I already mentioned that to you, that in order to keep the quality level until in 6 sigma, it means plus 3 sigma minus 3 sigma, which means 997 will be effective among 1000. It means 3 will be defective. So this is our quality level. So we want to use 3 sigma in the Z. You can also use 4 sigma, 5 sigma, 6 sigma, but in this example we want to use 3 sigma. So 3 and then the sigma value. So this is sigma value 0.64. So it is 0.282. This is my upper control limit. So for lower control limit formulation is same, only you need to put minus. So when you put minus, you will get minus. So our lower control limit will be minus. So normally we not measure the in minus, so it will automatically will start from 0. So when you sketch it, it will be look like this one. So you can see upper control limit is 0.28. So this is my upper control limit 0.28 and lower control limit. So we will start from 0 and my central line is 0.09. So you can see this green line is below than 0.10. So this is 0.09. So 0.09 and these are the limits. So all the things are inside the 3 sigma level. So the inspector or the person will give them a green signal because they are according to the standard. They following the standard. They following the standard for which they design their quality. So if they using 4 sigma, maybe the some possible outcome will become outside from the feasible region. It will be outside from the upper control limit or lower control limit. So in this example, you can see that all the points are inside the upper control and lower control limit. Now I am just going to show you that how you will use Excel, specifically K1 macros, in order to construct a P chart. So you can see that this is the same example. We have number of defectives, number of tires in each sample. So these are the samples, number of tires in each sample. The inspector from the first warehouse, she take 20 tires. Among those tires, 3 are defective from the second sample. So there are 2 defective from third sample. In each sample there are 20 tires, 1 defective, 2 defective and 1 defective. Now you want to sketch a P chart for this. How you will use Q1 macros? So you just click this Q1 macros, okay, in the ribbon. When you click it, so you need to click this control chart SPC. So now we are only looking for the P chart. So you can see when attributes, because these are the C chart, P chart, NP chart, G chart, T chart are all in the attribute chart. So this is P. So when I click this, you can see now the same chart which I already show you in the slides. This chart will be appear. Upper control limit is 0.28, lower control limit is 0 because it starts from 0, and our central line is this one. So you can while using the current scenario, while using the current sample, you can say that the process is in control. The quality is okay. Similarly, if you want to use C chart, so the number of weekly customer complaint or monitor in a large hotel using a C chart. So there are some customer complaints in a specific hotel. So we want to construct a C chart for this. That is the hotel service is in the control or not while using the current parameter of the hotel. So develop 3 sigma control limits using the data table. So we want to construct a 3 sigma control limit. So in the first week, the hotel received 3 complaints. Number of complaints are 3. In the second week 2, in the third 3, in the fourth 1, in the fifth 3, in the 6th week 3, in the 7th week 2, 8th 1, and in the 10th week 1. So the total number of complaints in these 10 weeks are 22. So how we will calculate, how we will construct central line, upper control limit and lower control limit? Manually. So number of complaints, central line C bar mean number of complaints. So 22 divided by how many weeks? 10. So this way we just calculate mean of this C chart. Okay. Upper control limit, the formulation is C bar plus Z square root of C bar. So they already mentioned use 3 sigma. If they mention 4 sigma, 5 sigma, then we will write instead of 3 we will write 4. So 2.2 plus 3 square root 2.2 So because we just put it in the formula, which is 6.65, and the lower control limit C bar minus Z square root of C bar is equal to 2.2 minus 3 square root 2.2. So this is minus 2.25. So basically meaning the complaint, it will start from 0 to 1 complaint to 2 complaint to 3 complaint, because complaint will not be in negative, so that is why we will start from 0. So when we sketch it while using the Q1 macros, the Lean Six Sigma software, which is an Excel add-in, it will give us this chart. So we can see all the observation are in the control. So this is our line. So this is our C, which is 2.2 central line. So this is 2.2. Our upper control limit is 6.65. So you can see this is 6.65 and lower control limit is equal to 0. So from this figure, we can see that the hotel service, this is in the control. If the number of complaints increase, maybe it will be crossing the boundaries, maybe it will be crossing the boundaries of this. So now I am just showing you that how you will construct a C chart while using the Q1 macros. So now you can see that we have 10 week data. There are number of complaints. In the first week there are 3 complaints, in the second 2 complaints, in the third 3 complaints. Similarly, when we sum these complaints, so you can see that there are 22 complaints in the 10 week times. If you want to calculate the proportion of it, so 22 divided by 10, so you can get 2.2. Now the question is the process is in the control while using the 3 sigma concept? So now you need to calculate, because you already know how to calculate manually C chart, how to calculate upper control limit for C chart, and how you will calculate lower control limit for C chart. But now the question is how you will use Q1 macros in order to construct a control chart. So once again, as you people know that you need to click this Q1 macros. Now in the Q1 macros there are several wizards. So now we only interested in the attribute charts. In the attribute charts you can see we have C chart and we have already used P chart. So now we are only interested in the C chart. So I will click this, and now you can see this is my control chart, C chart, for the number of complaints. So you can see, you can also change this if you want in your work. So our upper control limit is 6.65. This is our upper control limit. Our lower control limit was in minus. So that is why complaint will not be in the minus. It will start from 0, 0 to 1. It's mean 1 complaint, 2 complaint, 3 complaints. So it starts from 0. And this is our 2.2, which is our central line. So we have already calculated. You can see this 0 point which we have already calculated. This one 2.2. So we have already calculated this for that 2.2 is the central line. So you can see all the number, all the complaints, all the observation which we randomly received the complaint each week are inside the control limit. So the hotel we just fulfill the 3 sigma standard, quality standard. So the inspector will give them a green signal. So mean they fulfill all the things which they required in the 3 sigma. And 3 sigma mean that in out of 1997 will be effective and 3% will be defective. So at this way you can construct the C chart. So now I'm just going to share another example with you, which is the automobile example. The number of automobiles, there are some discrepancies in that. So I'm just going to show you that. In this example, the automobile example, there are in each sample the inspector check 500 cars. 500, you can see these are the sample. So mean they collect 1, 2, 3. They collect different sample. In each sample there are 500 cars. So in this 500 there are 12 discrepancies occur. In the second sample 15 discrepancies occur, and they check it for different things. There are 4 type of discrepancies: under torque, non-start, leaker. Some are leaking, some are smoking, they emit too much smoke, too much CO2 emission in the air. So this is the data. So now we want to construct a P chart for this. So how you will construct a P chart for this? So I'm just going to construct a P chart for this. And if you want to construct a C chart or some other chart, you can easily construct it. So the thing is P chart. So This is my P chart. So you can see in this whole observation, all the observation are in the control limit. My upper control limit is 0.06. My lower control limit is 0.01. So there is only one observation which is outside the upper control limit. So now the quality manager, the quality expert will start thinking about this. They will now construct a Ishikawa fishbone diagram. Why it's happening? Why at this specific level? Why at this 0.14? Why this value is 0.062, which is above the upper control limit? So then they will start, they will find the causes, they will use different technique, they will bring it back into the control limit. So at this way, the quality will be improving. So the P chart is also a basic tools, a basic indicator that the process, the data which you have collected so far, is it in the feasible region, is it in the control, or it's not in the control. So you can also construct a pie chart for this. You can also construct a Pareto. So now I'm just going to show you the Pareto because the discrepancies are in the 4 categories. So you select this and the total number, because under top 162 and the under top in this discrepancy, non-start, which are not going to start, 113, those who are leaking 125, and smoking, those who are smoking too much, are 5. So now you click, you select these, and now we want to construct a Pareto chart. So the Pareto chart, this is very danger zone. You can see under top, this is 40%. The second one is leaker, so 70.9%. The non-starter, so the expert, the quality gurus, the quality expert can start working on these 4 categories, how they can improve it. So they can easily construct, if you want to construct improvement tool, if you want to construct a Ishikawa fishbone diagram, so you can also click this and you can easily construct this Ishikawa fishbone diagram. You just click this, why it's happening, material, process method, people, what kind of machine we need to use, why we are using these, why this is going out from the control limit. So while using this software, you can easily construct, very easily you can interpret your report. Thank you so much.